Greetings, geeks and geekerillas. It is me, I am back. This time with another new show. And today's new show, Cloak and Dagger, of course. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'll take this off because I am in Florida, not New Orleans. So, anywho, today we're talking about Cloak and Dagger, the 2-hour premiere, 2 episodes. So, go stay up. You're the only one that can. And just a quick side note, sorry for including Alice here. I know she's not Marvel, but Marvel is owned by DC, and I can't find my Groot. So, anywho, let's get into the actual show. And before I do, spoiler warning, I will be getting into spoilers here. Just know that I loved this. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. I really highly suggest you go watch it. It's really good. Then come back and tell me what you thought. Do you think it's really good? Do you think I'm full of shit? Anywho, let's get into it. Didn't mean to make that rhyme. Oh well. So, this one's going to be a hard one to do the recap review, but I will try my damnedest. So, we open up with Tandy and Tyrone as their kids. Tandy is a little girl in ballet. Tyrone is a little kid on the streets with a heavy hoodie. And black hoodies are a theme for this show. So, hence why I put a hoodie on in Florida. So, thing with Tandy's side is that she's at ballet practice. She's not doing great, but she's trying her best. Mom isn't there to pick her up, so she has to call Dad's work, has to call his specific, branch. And it's clear that she's done this before, probably several times. And Mom wasn't there to pick her up, so Dad has to pick her up in the rain. She's even doing the cutie little practicing her stuff on the bicycle thing. And Tyrone is a little kid, wanting to be part of his big brother and stealing stuff. And his big brother pushes him away, but he stinks back to listen to him, and he talks about how him and his friends want to steal this car's radio, but they all wuss out. First of all being Tyrone's brother, and it's because he's scared. And seeing that his big brother is scared, Tyrone just up and steals the thing for it. And he gives it to him, saying, "Here, I stole it." But then the brother's like, "No, we gotta go put it back." Well, lo and behold, black young teenager holding a stolen thing when cops come up. They assume the worst, run after them, And it ends up happening that Tyrone witnesses a cop shoot his brother and kill him. But being the ever vigilant kid that he is, because this kid's awesome, he jumps into the river to try to save his brother. That's an awesome kid. Meanwhile, little Tandy is in the back seat of her dad's car. They're going over a bridge, and the dad gets a call from work. He's too obsessed about work and doesn't see where he's going. Then, well, one thing that I forgot to say with the Tyrone part is that what distracts the cop, kind of, is an explosion going off. We'll cut to Tandy. The explosion goes off and distracts the dad even more. Car comes. He swerves to try to get out of it. And then him and Tandy go off into the river. Same river as Tyrone. And yeah. She wakes up in the car. Dad's clearly passed out or dead. And she's trying to wake him up, but he can't wake up. Then another car comes on top of them and is pushing them, and it's like this much pocket air left. She's panicking. Cut to Tyrone. He's trying to save his brother, but his brother's already dead. He pulls up for air, but there seems to be something blocking his way. Then whatever exploded from the explosion earlier has apparently landed in the water. An explosion goes off in the water of this weird sci-fi stuff. It hits both Tandy and Ty. And oddly enough, they reach out and grab each other through this aura of light and darkness. And boom, that's the intro. Now for the rest of this, I will go more quick fire, but I thought I should get into that because that was the intro and their origin story, basically, of how they got their powers. Because yes, they got powers. Because of course, this is Marvel. So, we see them as teenagers. Tandy, it's clear that from the comics they've kind of swapped it, where in the comics he's more the street character, and she's more of the rich character, suburban character. And now they flipped it to where he's suburban and she's kind of street character. But they're modern day versions of it. So she is getting into parties even though she's underage, I think. Because I think they're the same age, and he goes to Catholic school. So she's getting into parties underage and tricking guys rich kids into going back to their home. Then she drugs them, and her boyfriend comes in and they rob the dude. And her story is that she goes in, robs the dude, but the dude him and his parents had ballet tickets, so she steals one of the ballet tickets and goes to see ballet because she regrets her former life. Because we also see that her current life is shitty. She sleeps in a church. Like, I think abandoned church, or maybe not. But anyway, she sneaks into a church and sleeps there at night because her mom, who is still alive, is poor and living in like a drug den thing. Not really a home. So she visits her mom, but she doesn't live there. And we later find out another reason why she doesn't live there is because Tandy thought a good way to save her money and keep it safe is take her monies and pills, regretfully. Because, someone on the streets, it's an easy way to escape. So, but she takes it and hides it at her mom's place. But later on, we find out that her mom stole from her, and that's clearly not the first time. And the way we find out is because she's in such a bad place because her powers developed right as the dude that she robbed finds her and starts to try to rape her, like literally. And so she stabs him with a light dagger. And now she's in trouble with the police. So she needs to get out. Her boyfriend helps her find a guy to do fake IDs and stuff. But in order to get a true new identity, you need a lot of money. He gave up some of his and she went to go get hers. And there was none. Then we cut to Tyrone's story, and Tyrone's story is about the fact that he wait, shit. That was episode 2, I think. Because, yeah, before that, she goes to this party her boyfriend tells her about, but she purposefully runs into a rich kid and steals what she sees as a rich kid, and steals his wallet. That wallet being Tyrone's. Because Tyrone, in his story, he works at he works on a baseball team. He goes to Catholic school, I think. And we see that his life's pretty good. I mean, he runs into some trouble because this dude from an opposing baseball team. Basketball. Sorry. I know sports. Basketball team. Keeps hitting him, pushing him and shoving him and stuff like that. And the coach just isn't calling. The ref isn't calling it. I know sports good. But the ref isn't calling it, so he gets pissed off and starts to fight with him. But of course that gets everyone mad at him, coach mad, parents mad. But he sneaks off to a party and he runs into Tandy. And being the kind of character that he is, he doesn't stand for her stealing his wallet, so he runs after her. And he's clearly an athlete. So he catches up with her at the graveyard. And when they touch, a miniature, a concussive explosion goes off. And their hands are glowing. Hers white, his black. It's not a race thing, she's got light stuff, he's got shadow stuff. But anywho, neither of them knows what's going on. So, meanwhile, at the end of the episode, because now I'm starting to remember, her powers activate for the first time and she stabs him. His powers activate just randomly. He goes to bed at night, covers himself completely in the covers in all black, and he wakes up and he's miles away. So much so that by the time that he was able to get home, he'd missed school. So that doesn't help his image with his parents. But then he also does a thing where he disappears another time right as Tandy's getting attacked. And he lands in the trunk of the corrupt cop that killed his brother. Because earlier when he traveled the first time, he found the guy. So now he was probably thinking about it, and so he traveled back there. And so he escapes. He finds a way to escape from the dude, and the dude is about to shoot him in this old factory, and he teleports back home with a bullet, which will probably come into play later. Because bullet is a freaking bullet. So the first episode, I believe, ends with both of them just freaked out because of their powers. Then the next episode goes into the fallout of all of that. Like I said, she's trying to find a new identity. It's not really working out because of her mom. Her mom steals her money. So she decides, hey, I'm going to crash this wedding, steal all the wedding money. Gets her boyfriend, ropes him into it. And they pretty much do it. They get the money. And she's off to leave. But she gets a call. The cop, who we've been seeing this whole episode, who hasn't spoken a whole word this whole entire time for some reason, except for when to arrest the boyfriend, has arrested the boyfriend. Which, side note, Power Ranger. Former Power Ranger, the cop. Kira from Dino Thunder. One of my biggest crushes growing up, honestly. So Officer Kira finally says something when she arrests him. Though I have a feeling that she's going to be kind of the YA white Misty Knight. Where she starts off adversarially, but then becomes a friend. Hopefully. Because I love that actress. And meanwhile, Tyrone's story is actually, he thinks that he found the guy that shot his brother for a reason, and it's filling him with even more anger now. He almost gets to the guy, but then realizes that he's late for practice, and so coach chews him out, kind of rightfully. I mean, I will admit it seemed kind of harsh, but also I kind of see where he's coming from, kind of. But his team doesn't like how they had to do suicides. Which, can we change that name? Because that just seems really bad name, especially nowadays. But anyway, they have to do suicides, like tons of them, and so they're pissed at him. So they beat him up and lock him in the sports locker thing, equipment locker, and takes him till like dark to get out. Then he tries to go to the guy with the baseball bat. It doesn't really work out, so he runs. Then later he comes back with a gun, which I don't know if that's the same one, but it looked a lot like the gun that his mom had for some reason. Which, by the way, we found out that the mom has a gun for some reason. Also, by the way, speaking about the mom, we find out that Tandy's dad, and I believe Tandy's dad and Tyrone's mom working for Roxxon, which, if you know Cloak and Dagger from the comics, that's a big name. It's the same people that own the thing that exploded that gave them their powers in the beginning, by the way. But anywho, they go, he goes shoot the guy while Tandy's running away because she's like, I care for my boyfriend, but care for myself more. She's kind of mentally fucked up because of life and everything, because of the shitty life that she's had. But as she's doing that, and as he's doing that, he goes to shoot the guy that shot his brother. And right as the shot goes off, he disappears. Then reappears right in front of Tandy and accidentally shoots her direction, which causes her to veer off. Both paralleling how they started. And we see her powers activate kind of as a way to try to shield her. And that's where we ended. I mean, what the... I mean, sorry if this has been a very disjointed, long review, but this was 2 episodes, and the way that they chose it was really brilliant, but kind of hard to recap, because they kept showing her and his story at the same time, and kept jumping between the two, and it's kind of hard to recap in a situation like this. I mean, I missed a lot of things. Like, another power that they both apparently have is, and I give credit where credit is due because I didn't even figure this out. Friend of the show, Mr. J of Mr. J's Reviews, did when we were talking on Facebook. And that is that she sees people's hopes, he sees people's fears. And that's another asset of their power, which was really cool. And overall, I've been going on for too long, so I'll try to wrap it up, but I really love this show so far. I mean, I'm hooked. I think it has potential to be one of Marvel's bests. And I cannot wait for more. Hopefully next time I can figure out a more coherent, less disjointed way of talking about this show. Because yes, I will be doing this weekly. Thank you for watching this long, disjointed review. If you don't see me again, next time you see me is probably Supergirl. I mean, I'm thinking about doing another video in between now and then. But if I don't, then next time you will see me is Supergirl on Monday. But anyway, whether I do that secret video or not, you will see me again. Anyway, till next time, and beyond.